Now, something everyone wants is a brand new CSGO knife. However, it's quite expensive, but personally, I've went from nothing to a knife twice already, and today I've gathered the 7 most important tips for you to help do the same. Now, CSGO drops are a perfect place to get started. I've created this entire spreadsheet just for this video, and I'm going to break it down in 30 seconds. On the left, we've got a value calculator. Here you can plug in your skin and case value to see how long you've got until you get that knife. Over here on the right hand side for the majority of the spreadsheet, we've got basically the price of every single collection drop to see on average how much it should be worth. Inferno, Dust 2, and Bank are what you want to hit. Graffitis are relatively worthless. Even though I did grab a great graffiti at 25 cents, the odds are extremely low to do so. Skin Swap is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with a free bonus for signing up with the first link in the description. They're the premier place for CSGO and Rust skins with a massive trading site and a top-of-the-line marketplace, offering you the most competitive rates out there and a massive 40% bonus when you're using that link in the description. Combine that with their top-of-the-line selling feature with many payout options and their trading feature legitimately taking you just about a minute, and there's no reason not to sign up with that first link in the description. However, the area you really want to focus in on are cases. That's because cases are currently sitting at 91.6 cents per week on average that's going to be coming to you. And this is completely excluding rare cases, and if you do get a rare case drop, which makes up 1% of the drop pool, it could potentially get you almost all of a free knife if you get lucky. That's because you can look at these 5 cases here and update it however you please. Therefore, you're going to be ending up with 98.3 cents on average every single week, provided that skins and graffitis are 50-50. And with the cheapest knife currently being $87, after 88 weeks, you're going to be getting that knife for absolutely free. Is it the most ideal? No. That's why we've got faster methods, but it's a great starting point. Now, once you've got a couple dollars in your Steam account, I highly suggest you start on one of the next 2. The first of which is going to be flipping skins. Flipping skins is a super easy and really laid back way to get yourself a couple extra bucks. What you're going to be doing is looking for items like this, where the buy order price is so different than what the current selling price is at. Therefore, for the Quicksilver example here, we could put in a buy order at 25 cents, and since it's got a decent amount of volume on this item, we're going to get it relatively quickly. We can go ahead and sell it for 29 or 30 cents and make a couple cent profit off of it. We're going to be doing this for tons of different items all across the market, because even though we're making 1 or 2 cents per time, we're probably going to end up with 25 or 50 of these skins coming into our inventory every single day, and it does start coming in relatively quickly. I've made a decent amount of money doing this because it's super laid back, and once you set up your buy orders, you never have to touch it again unless you're making profit reselling these skins. I've got full videos if you want to check this out more in depth, which I suggest you do, but basically you want to look for cheaper skins because the more expensive the skins get, the more you're going to be paying in Steam tax, and it's going to make your margin look bigger, but in actuality, you might even be losing money if you go too big. Number 3 is still something I do to this day, and that's going to be Tradeups. Tradeups are so great because there's so many different ways you can make so much money with Tradeups. If you want to look for some of the low or no risk Tradeups, I've got those on my channel, and if you want to learn how to set one up, we're going to be doing it right now. We're going to be going for this Prisma and Revolver collection Tradeup. I went with this one because if you want to look at the floats and the outcomes, we're barely sneaking in factory new, which is going to be giving us the Negev power loader and the Op Aetheris in factory new. We want to look for skins that are really expensive when they're in factory new, but not that expensive when they're in minimal wear. That's because the inputs are probably going to be cheaper in the minimal wear format, and therefore we can go ahead and use that to our advantage. Now, I highly suggest you check out Tradeup Spy if you're looking to have a very easy calculator that's going to be telling you if your Tradeup is profitable or not. For me, I just like to sit here and mess around with the collections until I find one that actually works. Plus, I've got tons of videos on YouTube of different Tradeups that I highly suggest you check out because there's just so many different ways, and honestly, after about a month of a video being up, usually the Tradeup returns to actually being profitable, which is a really good way for you to go ahead and cash in because a lot of these Tradeups don't require that much effort, especially if the floats are really easy to get. Now, Tradeups are not guaranteed by any means, but as long as you're going for a Tradeup that has over 100% profitability over the long term, you should gain money, and this is a really easy way to go ahead and add a couple more extra dollars combined with the fact that we're already flipping skins and getting our case drops. This is going to be the most effective way just because you can grind this way out the most because it's 100% dependent on you finding those fillers and sending up those buy orders to go ahead and get those items at the correct price points and doing the trade ups. Now, number 4, I'm deeming my secret way, and this is one of the ways I got a free knife, or actually about $250 free in the past, and that's because we're going to be grinding out operation stars. It's not too practical right now, so I'm going to keep it relatively short, but basically you're going to be following the method I did in this video where you're grinding out a pass. You're going to go ahead and buy another pass with the amount of money you gained by selling off cases which you redeem for your stars. It's not too practical right now, but it's a really strong strategy, and it's actually the best strategy when it's actually in season. Now, strategy number 5 is split into two different directions. The first of which is profiting off of any brand new update that comes out. I fully explained it in this video, but basically what you're going to be doing is anytime a brand new update comes out, you're going to be making money by participating in it. That could be participating in a brand new operation, a brand new case, trying to go ahead and get the drop right away, which we explain how to do, or if we're just talking about a brand new update coming out, being the first person to place a buy order on every item. Otherwise, if we're talking about this video, brand new hype. Brand new hypes happen relatively often inside of CSGO, and there's a really easy way to profit off of them, and that's going to be going to a third-party site, picking up some items off of there, and instantly reselling them on the Steam market for a significant amount of profit. Now, strategy number 6 is going to be investing, and investing is extremely important at this phase because this is how I was able to go from nothing to a knife my first time. I didn't just grind out all the money myself, because although that is very possible, it's not very fun or practical. Investing is going to be giving you the extreme edge you really want because it can cut your time down significantly more than any other strategy on this list. Basically, you're going to be looking for really cheap, good investments. Obviously, that's definitely up to you and your discretion. In my personal opinion, I found luck with cases and major capsules. Obviously, cases are a little bit more expensive now, and major capsules are something you need to determine if it's right for you. However, I will say if you're looking to invest or hold on to your items for at least the length that it would take you to get a knife normally, you're probably not going to be in a worse for wear situation. Very rarely over the span of an entire year do CSGO items go down in price, and very rarely if they go down is it a very significant amount. Most likely you're going to be ending up in a better position than you invested at a year prior. But remember, that's only if you pick a smart investment. Now, strategy number 7, I'll be completely honest, this is only if you really want to grind it out. The first way is going to be with using some websites. I've personally done this in my previous series because it's just a really good way if you need a couple bucks. I'll link some down in the description that are very reputable, but it's not going to be the most fun way by any means. Otherwise, you can go ahead and enter into some giveaways. There's a lot on Twitter, and usually they're for some decently expensive items. We're talking 20, 30 bucks, which could potentially get you almost 50% of the way to a knife, depending on what item you end up getting. Otherwise, you can also try your hand at trading. Now, this is something I put in the grinding method because 1, you're not going to have a ton of capital to work with, and capital is extremely important inside of CSGO trading, and 2, everyone's looking for profit these days that it's actually really hard to trade for anything that's worth or even fair value for most people, so it's not going to be the most fun experience, and you'll probably end up getting frustrated and quit, in my personal opinion, but it's there if you want to try it, although it's not something I would personally recommend if you've got under like $1,000. But that's all I got. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.